Hey everyone, welcome to a weekly forecast by me, Shanna Cross from Apogee of the Moon. This is for the week of, let me get in here, look at my notes. This is for the week of December 12th through December 18th. And so we have a lot going on, but the biggest things would be Mars coming conjunct the South Node and the full moon in Gemini, which is not an eclipse, but it will seem kind of very fated and very karmic because the nodes are still in the signs of Gemini and Sagittarius. So definitely expect that there's going to be some very fated karmic endings, completions, culminations, wrapping up, letting go, and abrupt shifts in the energy wherever this shows up for you. So I will jump in and we will talk about all 12 signs. So let's start with Aries. So this Mars coming conjunct the South Node on the 15th is happening in your ninth house, Aries. So this could be the cutting away of and the ending of some type of education, some type of worldview, some type of dogmatic held belief. And this could see you taking the initiative to cut it away or to end it, finalize it, complete it, put it down, and move away from it. Now, this full moon is happening, on the axis of your ninth and your third house. And so there could be definitely some really big completions in terms of your learning, your education, your, daily speaking to. Maybe there's actually an unfoldment as well. That trying to find the words to say this. So for some Aries, rising in particular, because, this sets the houses up the way they are or the way they should be in your chart. But this full moon in your third house is almost like a very big wrapping up of, obviously, of, an education, especially with Mars conjunct the South Node around the same time. But this is also wrapping up of like the daily rat race mind. Like there's a culmination and a completion happening and kind of a push-pull energy going on, right, with your third and your ninth house of, who does it you're speaking to every day, what you're speaking on every single day. And so there could be like an old way of talking that is wrapping up. Because at this time, Mercury is in Capricorn and it is in, in your 10th house. So, there's definitely some very public speaking on, something that you've been mulling over, something that you've been learning, something that you've been thinking on. And so this could definitely see you, speaking out. 10th house is a very public house where Mercury is. And with this full moon, this could definitely see you speaking out on, topics that you maybe wouldn't normally speak out on. I'll put it that way. So this can definitely be a very grand culmination event unfolding because Jupiter is in trine and sextile with this full moon, luck, optimism. This is definitely a nicer full moon. And so maybe you've had to kind of think outside the box in terms of the groups and organizations that you belong to. And, you've had to think outside the box in terms of how it is that you're making your money over this time frame. But this full moon is really a completion energy. And, this is definitely a nicer energy because, the sun is in trine with your ascendant, sextile with your descendant, or sun or moon, depending on what you're listening for. But this can definitely be really nice energy for you specifically to finalize something and put something to bed and end something, and even end like a way of talking about something, and it's going to be very beneficial for you over the long haul. So there can be that as well. So for Taurus, and for Taurus rising, this Mars coming conjunct the South Node, you know, especially with this full moon looming as well, this is happening, you know, in your 8th house. You know, Sagittarius is your 8th house. So this full moon is happening in your 2nd and in your 8th house. So there's definitely something that's going on for you where there's a culmination, a completion, a finalization, and maybe there is a new reliance, not alliance, reliance on your resources from your partner. Maybe you've been working very diligently and very hard, you know, especially with Uranus in your sign. You've been changing and doing things in very different and unique ways, and you yourself are changing up the status quo. And then with the ongoing square with Saturn, you know, you've been really trying to get dynamic in what it is that you're doing out in the world, get very serious about what it is that you're doing out in the world, what it is that you're known for. And with Jupiter in trine with this in your 10th house, Taurus, and, you know, with this happening in your 2nd and in your 8th, this could be a very beneficial culmination of a project, of a joint project that you've been working on that's now you yourself are going to reap the benefits and the rewards of over the long haul, especially with Jupiter in trine with this. You know, this is offering benefit to your career. This is offering benefit to your public standing, public reputation. So there's definitely that going on for you. And, you know, with the dispositor of this, this full moon being Mercury, right? And so that's the ruling planet of Gemini. And so that's called a dispositor in astrology. In your 9th house, there could definitely be some travel coming up for you. There could be a move coming up for you. There could be some things that are going on, you know, for you that are very interesting and very unique, and very different, especially, you know, with Uranus kind of in your 1st house, very, very much changing up how it is that you go about doing things. And you know, Venus is in trine and Pluto is in trine with your ascendant, sun, or moon, depending on what you're listening to. So this could be really good for you, and how you have structured what it is that you're doing out in the world as well, and especially because of what you're doing out in the world. Now for Gemini and for Gemini rising, you know, this full moon is in your sign. This is illuminating you. This is you know, illuminating, sorry about that, my phone, I forgot to silence my phone. This is illuminating you, and this is illuminating you know, your relationships with other people. Maybe there's a relationship that is being worked on. And so, you know, this is Jupiter in your, you know, Jupiter is the ruler of your 7th house. And so, you know, with it in the 9th house, this could definitely be working in partnership with someone at a distance to finalize something, to work on something, to work on you. Maybe someone at a distance is helping you in some way, because Jupiter is a benefic planet. It rules your descendant. You know, long-term friendships are seen here, teachers, gurus, things like that, especially with Jupiter in the 9th. This could be a teacher of some kind that's helping you to understand in a benefic way, you know, what's going on with you, what's going on with your partnerships, things like that. So with Mercury too being in, you know, this is your chart ruler and the dispositor of, you know, this full moon in general in the 8th house, there could definitely be a focus for you on other people's money, other people's resources, or this could be, you know, your focus is on, yeah, on your partner's resources or what your partner's doing, or, you know, maybe there's something going on with a partner's resources that you need to help focus on. And so here too, Mercury will be retrograde in Capricorn here in a few months. This could definitely see you helping your partner in some way, shape, or form, or revisiting something that has to do with inheritance, taxes, insurances, insurance claims, debt, through institutions and things like that. So that's for you, Gemini. For Cancer and for Cancer rising, this full moon is happening in your 12th and in your 6th house. So maybe this is a culmination and a completion of, a health issue that you've been facing, Cancer. Maybe there's something going on, with your daily routine or with your health, and it's coming to an end. It's done with, it's over with, it's finalized. And so, with Mercury being the dispositor of this full moon, this could also mean that you're working in partnership through relationship with someone else, because Mercury is in Capricorn at this time. It could be that maybe you're working with either a client. If you have a spiritual business, this could definitely be working with clients. If this is working on a health issue, this could see you partnering with someone through an establishment even, to kind of get things situated and done with and your health back where it needs to be. It could be something like that as well. For Leo and for Leo rising, this is happening in your 11th and in your 5th house. So there's definitely been something going on with either your children, your romantic, boyfriend, girlfriend, partners, like romantic interludes, things like that. This could also be, if you do have children, this could definitely be something going on with your children. And so this full moon is highlighting to you, the finalization of that and understanding, the kind of push, pull, and draw that there is between, future goals and future orientations and what you do for fun, right? And so, and if this is having fun with your kids, this could definitely see over the long haul, especially with Jupiter in the mix, because Jupiter is in Capricorn. Capricorn is your 6th house. Jupiter is in your 7th house, Leo. What am I thinking here? I'm thinking of Cancer. So Jupiter is in your 7th house, not your 8th house. And so I'm getting myself all confused. So this is beneficial for your relationships because the full moon and Jupiter are in social houses, your 7th and your 11th. So this is contracts, agreements, negotiations can really go smoothly here. And this could be finalizing a contract or an agreement and a negotiation that needs to be let go of, especially because with the South Node still in Sagittarius, this could definitely see that needing to happen. And then, with this full moon, in trine and in sextile with the sun and the moon, this could definitely see a good resolution or a satisfactory resolution to what it is that you need, want, and desire in terms of your future goals and orientations and the things that you do for fun and play. Maybe the two have not been jiving, but now with Jupiter in trine, this could be very beneficial for you because you could partner up with someone to finish and finalize and do the things that you need to do in order to do the things that you want to do and the things that you love to do going forward. So that could be it for Leo. For Virgo, this full moon is happening in your 10th and in your 4th house. This is your home, family, and property and what you're doing out in the world. This could be a culmination and a completion, with your work plans, like your career, like how it is that you're known out in the world. This could be the end of something that's been going on for the last 18 months for you. This could be a natural ending too. And this is happening with Jupiter in your 6th house in trine with this moon. And also, with the dispositor of this full moon in your 5th house of fun, play, joy, children, things like that. There's definitely something that's going on for you specifically. I mean, this is a really nice one for you. You know, because you've been having all kinds of crazy stuff going on in terms of the home front, letting go of, you know, some different things on the home front, letting go of maybe properties, or letting go of parents, or, you know, moving from a different location to a different location, or being up in the air about it, not really knowing where you want to go or where you want to be, to you know, working on your career and what you're doing, and your public reputation, your public standing, and what it is that you're known for, and the legacy that you want to leave behind after you're gone. So there's definitely, with this full moon not being an eclipse, right, there could definitely be a much easier time of it, and especially with Jupiter in trine with this full moon. So this is really good for your work, especially your daily routines. You might be very, very busy, but this could benefit you in the long term of what it is that you're doing in career. And maybe, you know, once the nodes move out of here and move into your ninth and your third house, there could be rewards to be had for the work that you've put in to your career and what you're doing every single day, working towards that career. For, let's see, Libra, sorry about that, losing my mind. For Libra and Libra rising, you know, this full moon is happening in your ninth and in your third house. So there's definitely something going on in terms of the people that you are speaking to every single day. There's something coming to an end, some way of thinking, some type of, it could be education, but to me, this seemed, for some of you, it could definitely be an educational pursuit coming to an end, and having to, you know, something that you've been speaking on every single day coming to an end. But this could also be a complete shift in terms of your worldview, or how you frame reality around you, like how you see the world is shifting dramatically. And maybe with Mercury, you know, in Capricorn, you're understanding that things are not always as simple as they first seem, and there's layers, and there's structures, and there's hierarchies, you know, and it could be too, you know, on the home front, you're realizing exactly what those layers are. So there is that. But Jupiter, I mean, Jupiter is in your fifth house. So Jupiter is offering support, like your fun, play, joy, romance, children, you know, hobbies, things that you love to do just because you love to do them. And so maybe there's something that's coming to an end, especially with Jupiter here offering a support from the fifth house, that you feel more romantic, or you feel sexy, or you feel like, you know, maybe there's someone coming in, right? Maybe there is someone coming in for you. You know, if you're a Libra rising specifically, and this is your fifth house, it could be something like that. So there is that as well. And then for Scorpio and for Scorpio rising, you know, this is happening in your eighth and in your second house. So this full moon is happening in your eighth house. And so this could be the completion and finalization of a partner's resources, right? Like this could be maybe your, right? Hold on. My brain is like, you guys need to understand. I do apologize. My brain has been not right lately. Yeah, this is in your eighth and in your second house. Yes. I'm on the other side of the zodiac now, guys. I don't know when that happened. So this full moon happening in your eighth house. So there's something being highlighted for you in terms of maybe insecurities, uncomfortability in terms of your partner's resources. Maybe there's something that you thought was finished and finalized, but it wasn't, but you're getting support. Maybe there's something that's going on the home front, or maybe something that you Yeah, especially with this being your fourth house ruler, or your second house ruler in your fourth house as well. Maybe this could be, you know, selling something to help pay for a debt for your spouse or your significant other, or a partnership of some kind if it's business or something like that too. Or maybe it's even the purchase of, maybe this full moon is highlighting to you, you know, where your forever home can be. And so the eighth house is debt, it is loans, it is money coming in through outside resources, and that can be institutions. And with Jupiter, you know, in the fourth house, this could see the purchase of property. This could see, you know, something very lucky happening on the home front, especially, and something to do maybe with your finances, your personal resources can be affected in a good way as well with this. But it's going to be something that is definitely, this is definitely really interesting for Scorpio rising specifically. There could be some money coming in through the home, or through an outside resource, or through a partner, or through through someone that you know. With the dispositor of this being, you know, Mercury of this full moon, and Mercury does rule your eighth house, being in Capricorn, this could be conversations, because you know, Mercury is in Capricorn, that is your third house. There could definitely be very intense conversations around other people's money as well, and an understanding of a very structured kind of way that your partner's resources need to be, or having a conversation with your partner about what they need to do with their resources, or how they need to go about doing it with their how they need to go about spending their resources or gaining new resources. It could be something like that for you. Losing my mind, guys. I do apologize. So after Scorpio is Sagittarius. So this is a full moon highlighting your seventh house of partnership. There is something that is completing, finalizing, being let go of, or, you know, fruit bearing, right? So we get to see the fruits of our labors here. And so with Jupiter in trine with this full moon in your third house, this could be really great for communicating in partnership, or through partnership, what it is that you truly need, want, and desire. What it is, like, this is highlighting your partners, your one-to-one relationships, whether or not it's a spouse, whether or not it's a business partner, whether or not it's a long-term friendship. This could see you speaking up and telling your partner what it is that you need and what it is that you value, because Mercury is in Capricorn, which is your second house of your values and your money too. This could be you talking to partners, clients, you know, partnerships of any kind, and even finishing up contracts and gaining resources from it, or talking about resources and what you need from your clients or your partner, in terms of money, in terms of what it is that you value and you want. So that could be a thing for Sagittarius. For Capricorn and for Capricorn rising, you know, this is happening in your sixth and in your 12th house. So, you know, this full moon in your sixth house is highlighting what it is that you're doing every single day, what it is that you know, what you're doing, where you're going, who you're being with, right? Like, sixth house is the day-to-day grind that you know, your job, your day-to-day life, you know, and what you're doing for your health, what you're doing for your wellness, what you're doing just every single day to live, to survive, you know, to pay the bills, to do all that. So this full moon could see something coming to light, or even an addiction coming to an end for you as well, if you're a Capricorn rising specifically. With Jupiter in the second house, you know, this could actually see a boost to your finances if you're getting a new job. Like, maybe you're actually getting a new job, and this new job is benefiting you in your resources, in what it is that you're doing every single day, and boosting your income or helping you gain a better sense of value in yourself as well. That's a thing. For Aquarius and Aquarius rising, this is happening in your 11th and in your 5th house. So the 5th house is being highlighted here in terms of finalization, completion, reevaluation of children, fun, play, joy, romance, sex, all those things. And with Jupiter in your sign, this could be you, this could see you working with friends, or maybe friends working with you, or some type of benefactor, or working through some kind of humanitarian pursuit, even because this is in your sign. Jupiter's in your sign. Jupiter is a benefactor. It rules your 11th house of social status and friends and humanitarian pursuits. And maybe this is something that you decide that you're really passionate about, something that you really want to get going with. But maybe, this full moon is highlighting that, but maybe it's not yet. Maybe you have to have the behind the scenes conversations first with Mercury and Capricorn right now, talking about it behind the scenes before it's actually fully formed and fully ready. Maybe by the time we have that new moon in your sign, that new beginning for you specifically, or no, actually, no, we're on Aquarius. Yeah. So new moon, it could be a couple months. Anyway, so sorry, I just had someone in mind when I was thinking that, but they're an Aquarius rising, not a Capricorn. So yes, it works for them too. But, this could definitely see something that you're really passionate about taking hold, taking root, and, being finalized, completed, and, reevaluated going forward. Because we will be coming into that new moon in Capricorn, and that is your 12th house of behind the scenes. So, and Mercury, I believe, will not be close to that, but Venus will definitely be involved. So there's some interesting things going on for Aquarius ascendants. So for Pisces and for Pisces rising, this full moon is happening in your 4th and in your 10th house. So this 4th house, this full moon in your 4th house is actually highlighting your home, your family, what you come home to every single day, and where it's really too where you lay your head, but your family, your parents could come into focus. Where you want to live could come into focus. Maybe you're done with living where you're living and you've decided that you don't necessarily want to live here, that you want to move somewhere else. That could be a thing for some Pisces rising people as well. And so with Mercury being the dispositor of this could be talking to friends, or talking to social networks, or talking to, people, that you associate with by choice, or groups and organizations that you associate with by choice, because the dispositor of this full moon is Mercury. Mercury is in your 11th house of your social groups, of the people that you associate with, or the groups and organizations that you associate with, your friends groups, social media even. So maybe there's something going on for you that could be maybe a home-based business that's either completing, finalizing, or taking off, and it's like all the toiling and troubling and things like that have been done, and now you're able to let go of the career and move more into the home front, more into the behind the scenes things, or what it is that you're coming home to is now going to be settling down, because this is not an eclipse. This is like literally a full moon here, and the beneficial planet too, Jupiter, in Aquarius in your 12th house. This is definitely, this could be a very spiritual business that you're doing, or this could be the ending of a career that you have decided that you want to focus more on your home and your family and your children going forward after this. So that's what I have for you all for next week. I'm so sorry, my brain is a little fried. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes in terms of my day job and everything like that. So more to come on that if you're interested in the drama. Maybe not, but we'll see. So I do hope that you enjoy this. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you next week. All right. And keep an eye out I have some things in the works coming for January for you all. So hit a like, hit a subscribe, share this with your friends if you want. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.